All right, and here we are again, day 3 in a row. I probably won't actually do this every day. I just have the time right now and I have some things to talk about. Just drinking my iced mocha macchiato with coconut milk. I love that. My boyfriend treated me today. Feel very lucky. Anyways, so today I'm going to do my video for Amy, which is my talk about my skincare video. So, oh, sorry. So again, this is going to be another no makeup based one, but kind of because the way I've always seen it, and I've studied skin a lot as well, is if you don't have good skincare and you don't have a good base for your makeup, no matter how expensive your makeup is or how good the quality is or how good you are at applying it, it's not going to look perfect because you need to have a good base. And if you don't have a good base, you're always going to have problems. So I think for anyone who's looking to get into makeup or even just looking to make their face look healthier or whatever is you know, skincare is so vital. And yeah, I've studied a lot. Every time that I've studied makeup in any capacity, I've also studied skin extensively, especially when I was in my makeup school. I went to Sheridan and for my second college, and especially doing special effects, you really have to learn a lot about skin because you're, you know, having to learn how to do burns and diseases and all of that kind of stuff. So it's really important to learn just about the skin, and because it really helps, as I said, it helps the makeup a lot. And for me as well, because I have a mother who is diabetic, I've learned a lot about diabetes and learning about how if you have different illnesses and ailments, it can really affect your skin and things that you can use on your skin and how your skin will react to all kinds of things. And then of course pregnancy too. Pregnancy is just crazy. Your skin does all kinds of weird things. That's actually a really hard one to work with because what works for one will not work for another, which is true to everybody in a degree, but when you're pregnant, your hormones are just really crazy. But anyways, to basic skincare. This is going to be a lot because, as I said in my last, I think both my last videos, I am obsessed with skincare. I'm all about having good skin. Actually, I don't even wear foundation too much these days because, as I said, once I turned 30, my skin changed drastically. I used to be extremely oily, and now my face is very dry. My body hasn't quite gotten as dry as my face, thank God. I still can't use body lotion or anything like that because I will break out. But it has gotten drier, and though I'm happy with that because before it used to be so oily that if I didn't shower like twice a day, I just felt disgusting. Like I would feel greasy all the time. So I don't have that anymore. That's really nice. I can have, you know, my once a day shower and I'm good as long as I don't put on any moisturizer on my skin. I'm perfect. It's great. But my face has gotten very dry. So I've definitely changed those products a lot, and I have changed the products for my body as well, and I'll talk about all of that. Anyways, to start, I'm going to talk about my cleanser, which is this guy here. It is the Bioderma Sense Bio Gel Mousse. I don't know, everything's in French, but it's the mild cleansing foaming gel for sensitive skin. I love Bioderma. I think that they're amazing. They have that micellar water, which is so famous. Everybody uses it. It's in a clear bottle with a pink top. It takes your makeup off like nothing. It doesn't irritate. It's the best thing ever, and I was so happy. This is actually a recent release from them where they came out with a cleansing gel to match, because I did have a cleansing milk, and while my skin is very dry now, and I know that for a lot of people who have dry skin, cleansing milk and cleansing creams are fantastic, I personally just can't get behind it. And I think it's because I've had oily skin my whole life, where I feel like if I use a cleansing milk or a cleansing cream, that I don't feel like my skin is clean enough, you know? And I've used them and they do work great. I always feel like there's some kind of film there, so I don't know if maybe my skin's not quite dry enough for that, though it does get patched. I don't know. I don't like it. So the fact that they came out with a cleansing gel is so fantastic, and I really love this. It's done wonders. I use a tiny bit. You can see it's still by the top, and I've been using it for I'm gonna say at least 2 months, if not 3 months now. So it's gonna take me ages to get through that. But I love it. I don't like how it smells. I will be the first to say that it smells kind of terrible. It definitely is one of those things where you know, it's fragrance free, so they use some kind of chemical or product to remove the scent, and it's god awful. The scent that's left behind, it's not scent free. It says it's scent free, and it's not something that'll irritate you if you have an issue with fragrance. It just it's not nice. But it works really, really well. It doesn't irritate me in the slightest. I don't get any redness from it. I don't get any bumps or hives, which I am very prone to. And again, it doesn't leave my skin feeling tight. It just feels that really, really fresh, clean, healthy feeling. I love it. It makes me so happy. I am going to do an honorable mention to this new guy here that I talked about in my first video by Mad Skincare, the Delicate Skin Cleansing Gel. And the reason for that is because it's what I've been using this week. And I don't usually switch up my skincare too much. I usually only do it if I'm testing something. But I do really, really love it. I love that it makes my skin feel very similar to the Bioderma. But it smells so good. And I am very much thinking that when I'm done my Bioderma, I might get the full size to try it out and really, really give it a proper long-term test to see how it works. My only concern with it is that it does have licorice extract. Licorice extract is a great ingredient, do not get me wrong, but it is something that in Canada anyway is used a lot to replace hydroquinone because it does lighten the skin. It is used a lot in products for people who have hyperpigmentation, which I do have, which is why I know a lot about it. And I use a lot of products with licorice skin in terms of spots on my body. So I'm kind of nervous, but the thing with using anything that lightens your skin is you really can't use it with the sun. Because it can actually make your spots darker because you're essentially exposing your skin more, and if you use this and then you go out in the sun, it can make it worse. It can make you a lot more prone to skin cancer. You have to be very, very careful when you're using any kind of lightening product. So for me, when it comes to things with licorice extract or certain types of barks, which also help to lighten the skin, I do tend to use them only in the wintertime, when there isn't as much sun out, and when even when there is sun, I tend to keep myself inside anyway because it's cold and I don't like going out in the cold. So, and my main reasoning for that is because you definitely can use them in the summer as long as you use a really, really good sunscreen. I unfortunately am allergic to sunscreens. There is literally one that I know of that I do not get a reaction to. I will talk about that later because Amy was asking about sunscreen as well, and even though I can't wear it, I do know about some really good ones, so I'll include that at the end, including the one I can use, and I'll also include why I don't really use it. But anyway, so that's my cleanser, and then from there, I don't really use a strong toner anymore. You definitely have to use toner. A lot of people don't use toner because they're like, oh, it's harsh, it makes my skin feel this way or that way. And they don't use it, or you know, they'll go into a store and the person who's supposed to know about skin will tell them, oh, we'll skip that step, it's not a big deal. Toner is probably the most important step. I tell people a lot, I'm like, if you're gonna skip any step, you should actually skip your cleanser over your toner. Your toner is so vital. I'm gonna be as basic as I can with this and telling you why. So when you cleanse your skin, if you wash it off with water, and that is important because there are a lot of cleansers that you don't actually have to rinse, and they are a cleanser, toner in one, and if you don't rinse them, then you don't need a toner. But if you are rinsing your cleanser off your skin with water, what that does is it causes the pH levels of your skin to alter. And I'm not going to go into what all of that means because I know that sometimes I like to get too sciencey and people get confused and I ramble. But basically what that means in layman's terms is when the pH of your balance, or the pH balance of your skin changes, the outer walls of your skin put up a wall. And what that means is that when you go to put on your serum or your moisturizer or whatever else you want to put on, it's not actually going to penetrate that top layer of skin. it's just going to sit on top. And you'll find a lot of people that say, you know, oh, when I put on my moisturizer, it's so nice because my skin feels so soft, it's so great. But then after a couple of hours, it's really dry again or oily again or whatever. And I hate it and I don't know why it's doing that. And then I always say, well, are you using a toner? No, I hate those. And it's like, well, that's why. Your skin should not feel soft after you put on your moisturizer. And it's because it's not, because when you put on your moisturizer after you've used toner, you'll notice it sinks in completely and your skin actually feels a little bit cool and sometimes almost slightly rough, but it definitely doesn't feel soft and smooth. And it's because your cream has gone into the skin. It is penetrating. So it's actually going to do whatever its purpose is. Right now, what I'm using for toner is this here. I don't know if you can see it. It's by Joviance and it's their micellar water. If you are extremely sensitive, using a micellar water, which definitely has like what you need for a toner in it as well, is a great alternative. Just because it is extremely gentle. You don't run that risk of having alcohol in it, which is why a lot of people don't use toners. And a quick tip, a lot of brands mislabel their things, but any toner that has alcohol in it is actually supposed to be labeled an astringent, which is still a type of toner, but it's a toner meant specifically for oily skin. If it says toner, it's not supposed to have alcohol in it. And that means that it's good for normal to dry. Though always read the ingredients on everything. I always tell people, read the ingredients. If you're not sure, read the ingredients. If you're not sure what an ingredient is, ask the person at the store or look it up on Google. It's so easy to get access to information these days. But yeah, so that's what I use as my toner. I use the Joviance micellar. It's fantastic. As I said, Bioderma is by far my favorite, but this is what I have on hand at the moment. And it is absolutely spectacular. It definitely does give the Bioderma a run for its money. I think the only reason why I like the Bioderma better, honestly, is because it comes in a bigger bottle. And it's about the same price. So when that runs out, I will get the Bioderma. But again, it works the exact same. It does the same thing for my skin. No irritation. It makes it feel great. It's wonderful. From there, I go either do one of two things. Right now, because we are having such hot weather, I am using this here. I don't know if you can read it. Come on, focus camera, focus. No. Anyways, this is the Pixie Vitamin Wake Up Mist. I love this. It has orange blossom and citrus, and I don't know if it actually does anything in particular for my skin, but I know how it makes me feel. It really definitely gives my skin that kind of refreshed, woken up feel. And I really, really love it for that. So after I tone, I spray that on, I'll wait a couple seconds, let it sink in before I go on to my next step. In the dead of winter, when things are cold and I'm at my driest, I don't use the vitamin mist. I use the Glow Mist, which has argan oil and a bunch of other things in there. And it makes me feel very similar in the way of the vitamin mist, except that it's a little bit more nourishing and my skin just feels a little bit more soothed, I want to say, because it's not so dry. And I absolutely love that. From there, because as I said, I do love skincare. I have many, many, many steps. I go on to this guy here. And this is the Mineral 89 by Vichy. It is just a booster product. So it's not a serum. It's not a moisturizer. It's meant for people like me who are crazy obsessed with skincare and are lucky enough to have these extra products. I really, really love it because I love the thermal water by both Vichy and Avène, which, to be honest, is the exact same water. It comes from the Black Mountains in France, and it is phenomenal stuff. A little story that I tell a lot of my clients is I got a really bad burn on my arm once. You can't see it. It's like somewhere like on here, but like you literally can't see it. And I forget what I was doing. I was making something. It was something in the kitchen, and I don't remember if it was hot oil or boiling water or something. Something landed on my arm, and it literally peeled the skin off in this area. And the only thing I did was put that thermal water on it, and I did it like all day for like 3 days, and after that, it was almost completely gone. It was a little brown mark for about a week or two, and then it went completely back to my skin color. Like I don't even know where it happened. I just know that it was on this arm. That's it. And it was absolutely phenomenal because I scar so easily. I get a little pimple, I've got a scar for the rest of my life. Like I you know, scratch my arm a little bit too hard. You don't see it that day, but by the next day it's all bloody and that turns into a scar. I scar so easily. So the fact that after 3 days of having a burn that literally melted off my skin, it had completely healed over. And then within a week and a half, it was completely back to normal. You couldn't even tell that I had it. To me, that's a miracle product. So when Vichy came out with this, what it literally is, it's just a concentration of that thermal water. So it's beautiful. It's amazing. It makes my skin feel happy. It makes it feel healthy and balanced. And I don't know, I love it. It's a booster product. As I said, this is one of those products where if you can afford it, definitely get it. It'll be a great purchase. If you can't afford it, you know what? Don't worry about it. So moving on from there, I then go with this guy here. Again, focus. You gonna focus? Nope. I've got to figure out this camera situation. I'm not good at this. I will get better with the tech stuff. I'm working with my boyfriend on it. Anyway, this is by Neostrata, and it is their Glycolic Renewal Antioxidant Smoothing Serum with 10% glycolic acid. I do love this. That is great for my pores and evening out my skin tone. As I said before, I do have hyperpigmentation. Not so bad on my face. I have a lot of it on my body. It's just a genetic thing. It's annoying, something I've been dealing with for most of my life. It sucks, but this helps a lot. Again, this is a product that I don't use as part of my routine during the day because glycolic acid because it helps with evening out the skin tone. Again, you want to worry about the sun. You don't want to go out into sun with that fresh on your skin without a protection. And because I can't have that extra protection, I do only use it at night. Another thing to know about it is 10% glycolic acid. That is very strong. Usually when you start off with glycolic acid products, you start at about a 4% and then you move up to an 8% and you go from there. I think 10% is the highest I've ever seen. Point is, it is very strong and I do have very sensitive skin. So I had to slowly build up my tolerance for this. I would use it once every couple of days, just at night, and that's it. I am now at the point, it took me about a month where I can use it on a daily basis. Once a day, I use it underneath my moisturizer at night. Anyways, and then from there, I have my day moisturizer, which is this guy here. There we go, that's focusing. And that's by Fresh, and it's their Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. This moisturizer has honestly changed my life. And it's amazing. The tiniest, I mean the tiniest amount goes the longest way. I actually got this for myself as a birthday present to myself when I turned 30 and my skin went crazy. I got it about, I don't know, end of August, early September. And I'm still not finished it. I'm on the same first jar that I got and it's like halfway full still. Like that, I literally will just dip my finger into it and put it on my whole face. It's amazing. I find that every time I use this, I have no dry patches. And the one thing I found that's weird sometimes when I put on a moisturizer, my skin will feel great. And then by the end of the day, it's like my oily skin has come back and everything looks gross. This does not do that. I put this on, my skin looks hydrated and refreshed all day. It's until I wash my face at night. It is beautiful. It really has been life-changing. I really want to try other items from the line. Fresh is a very expensive brand. You can purchase them at Sephora. But I will say they are definitely worth the price tag. As I said, I've had this for for as long as I've known my boyfriend. So like going on 7-8 months now. So really good product, and it does last, so it is worth it in that way. And then my night cream, which is this guy here, which is by Vichy, and it's their Aqualia Thermal, and it's their night mask. It's not really a mask. It's like, you can see it's like a water gel thing. It's just one of those like multi-use things where if you put it on a little bit, it works as a moisturizer. or you can put it on a lot and use it as a mask, which is a leave-on mask. You can go to sleep with it. It's great. In the winter, I do put on a thicker layer when I go to sleep to really let it melt into the skin and really give me that hydration. In the summertime, like now, I just used a thin amount because I don't need as much moisture. So I love that. It's great. It's fantastic. And then in terms of masks, I do absolutely love using masks. I use a lot of sheet masks. I don't have any to show you here because honestly, I use like a different one every single day. I got 2 in my Ipsy 2 months ago now, and I need to find them. I don't remember what they're called. Unfortunately, all I remember is that they're in a black packaging, but they're not charcoal because I have an issue. I can't use anything with charcoal. I will not go into that now. That's going to be another story time thing. But I just remember, because at first when I saw it, I was scared because I thought it would be charcoal because it's an all black mask, but it's not. It's like tea tree oil and green tea, and I don't remember what else, but it was fantastic. I also really love the Garnier sheet masks that have come out lately. They have a lavender one and a rose one. I love both of those a lot. They're fantastic. But my all-time favorite mask is this guy here, which is again by Vichy. And yes, in case you're wondering, I love Vichy. They're fantastic. They're a really, really good brand. They've got some great skincare and they always have great sales. So they're a really good brand where if you want to get into something a little bit more high-end, made by dermatologists that you can kind of trust a little bit more, they're a really good brand to go with. Just watch out for sales because they have them all the time and great sales too. So it's a good brand that you can really get into. They have a lot of different products for a lot of different skin types and their stuff works great. Anyway, this one is the clay mask. It's a cologne clay. I can't pronounce that word. But it's really, really good. As I said, I am dry right now, so I don't use it in the same way that I used to. When I first got it, I would just slather it all over my face, let it sit for 20 to a half an hour, and then wash it off. Now I don't use it that way because I don't need to. I'm not so dry because cologne clay really sucks up any excess oil. But what it also does is it also sucks up any inflammation, any issues. So like I've been using it in the last week a lot because, as I was saying in my first video, you know, getting towards that time of the month. And in my first video, you could see that I had like I got a pimple here and here and here. Like I had like a bunch all over this area, which is where you get them when you have hormonal acne. And what I did was I just put this on those spots and went to sleep. And in the morning I rinsed them off and that's it, they're gone. It is so fantastic for that. I actually wish that I'd remembered to do that before I shot my first video. But I didn't. But as you can see, they are gone now. Like, I don't know if you can even, like, you can see kind of where this one was, but it's not red. It's gone. It's absolutely fantastic. Love this stuff. It is a total winner for me. And yeah, and I also figured that, you know, talking about skincare today, that I wouldn't go crazy on the makeup. And as you can see, my skin has a really, really nice glow to it. I'm just kind of like looking like, ooh, I quite like that. I mean, I have a highlighter here, but I don't have highlighter like up on here. And so my skin really is glowy, and I'm just wearing a NYX BB cream. Like I'm not wearing any kind of heavy foundation or any crazy powder or anything like that. I have a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of highlight, and a BB cream. That's it. My skin looks this, and the reason I'm pretty happy with my skin, and it really is because of my skincare and my obsession with skincare. But if anyone has any questions, as I said, I have studied skin extensively. I used to have very oily skin, so if you do have another skin type, please put it in the comments below, and I can either do another video talking about other skincare that I've used for different types of skin, or I can answer your questions. That's no big deal. Oh, and of course, sunscreen. Talk about sunscreen for my Amy. The one sunscreen that I can use without having an issue is by Aven. They have one, all of the products by Aven are made for people who have reactive allergenic skin, but they have a specific sunscreen, and I think it actually says allergenic skin on it. And they are great because I've done some like training stuff with the company, and I remember the first one I went to and they were talking about sunscreen, and I said, hey, but you know what, I have a really bad zinc allergy. I can't use sunscreen. I've never found one that doesn't have zinc in it, and I can't use sunscreen. It's horrible. And what is it? trainer that I was talking to was really concerned, and she goes, well, you need to have sunscreen. Sunscreen is so good for you. Sunscreen is so good for you. And I'm like, I know, but I mean, every time I use it, I break out into hives. Like, I'd love to, but I can't. And it was really cool because, what is it, I think it was a couple years later, when I was going to another training seminar, they came out with a sunscreen that was zinc-free, made for people with allergenic skin. And I was so happy because it was the first time that I really felt like a brand listened. And I talked to the trainer, and she said that she'd sent in my comments, and she had gotten some other comments like that from some other customers and some other people. And it lets you know that, you know, these companies really do listen to you, especially the dermatologist companies like Vichy and Aven and La Roche-Posay and Bioderma. They really listen to their customers, and because they really are just trying to help people that have issues with their skin be able to have healthy skin and have great skin. So I will always buy from Aven just for that reason, that they listened to my concerns and were able to make a product that I could use. So they do have that sunscreen. It is great. My reason for not using it as I should is very simple. Even though I don't get hives from it, and I don't have any reaction to it at all, it is one of those super, super thick sunscreens that leave a very heavy white cast, and I hate it. If I am going traveling, because sometimes I go see family down south, I will bring it with me then, because I'm going into extreme heat and extreme sun. So I will bring it then, because even though it has a white cast, it's worth it, because in those situations, you really need to make sure you have that extra protection on the daily, because my anxiety is so bad and I do live very much a hermit life. I really don't go out very much. You know, I'm really out only for more like a few minutes at a time. So I don't really get concerned so much about not wearing the sunscreen, because I'm an indoor person. I never used to be. I hate it. I would like to get to a point where I'm outside more, but as it stands, I'm an indoor girl, and I'm not outside enough to really warrant having this white cast all over my body at all times. And when I put it on my face, I really can't wear any makeup with it because it is so heavy and so thick. And now that my skin has gotten dry, it really, like, you can see it. You can always see it. You can't cover it up very easily. Or if I do have a foundation that covers it up, it makes my face look very cakey. And in the summertime, I am one of those like get up and go people. I want to have a very, very simple routine, as I said, like BB cream, some bronzer, some highlight, you know, put my brows on, put on, well, my version of a nude lip, and some mascara, and I'm out the door. Like, I'm so simple. I'm in the summertime, and I don't want to wear a sunscreen that makes my face look like a ghost that I can't really cover up super easily. But anyways, that's the end of my spiel. Other sunscreens, though, that are also meant for sensitive skin that do work really, really well, just because I have friends and that also have crazy skin, not as crazy allergenic as mine, but pretty sensitive, and they really have done well with the La Roche-Posay Anthelios sunscreen. They also have a really good self-tanner if you're interested in that. Again, I don't self-tan, but that's because being Trinidadian Guyanese, I know I look really pale and white, but walk out in the sun for 5 minutes and I will get brown. I don't burn at all. I just get a tan, so I don't self-tan. And Vichy is kind of, I find, a 50-50 brand. They have really good sunscreen. I know a lot of people that rave by it, and I know a lot of people that don't like it. It has more of a citrus smell to it, which I personally really like, even though I can't use it. I love just kind of like opening up the bottles and smelling them, which is weird. I don't know why I do that. But I do find it 50-50. If you're going to go with Vichy, definitely get a sample first. The good thing is most places that sell it will have samples. Vichy is amazing. Once the weather gets slightly warm, they send out tons and tons of samples of their sunscreen. So if you are interested in them, definitely go and try it. Or even if you're in the store and they have a tester in the store, you know, put some on your arm, walk around for an hour, see if you have a reaction, how you like the feel of it. If you like it, go and purchase it. Again, Vichy has great sales. As much as I love La Roche for their sunscreen, you know, I've had a lot of people that really love it. They really don't ever go on sale, so you kind of got to weigh your options there and what your price point is. I don't really use La Roche, but that's because La Roche likes to put shea butter in everything they use, and that is one of the many things that I am very, very allergic to. So I know a lot about the brand, but I didn't really use any of their products, but that is my reason why. Like, they've had really amazing feedback. I know a lot of people that really love them, and I know a lot about their other ingredients and stuff that works well. So if you are interested, again, I can answer a lot of questions. I just don't use it myself because me and shea butter are a big issue, which is why I stick to mostly Aven and Vichy, because they have a lot of products that I can use, and Bioderma as well. Also Bioderma, I don't have it in front of me here. I think it's in my room. But they have the cream that I use for my tattoos. You can see I have a lot of tattoos. I have this new guy here. They have the cream that I use for my tattoos. It's like $15. It is absolutely phenomenal. I don't know, this stuff is magic, because one thing that I'm very, very prone to with my tattoos, because I have weirdly porous skin, is my tattoos bleed like crazy. They like almost all of my tattoos, you can see like little, like, I don't know if you can see on here, you can see it's kind of like spread out a little bit. All of my tattoos are like that. I never used the Bioderma before because I didn't know about it. It's again one of their newer products, and it's a product that they have. It says on it, it says for tattoos, for like baby rash, for like a bunch of things. It's just a really sensitive kind of healing cream. But as you can see, I'll show you. So this is the original tattoo here, and you can see it's definitely got a lot of bleeding. You can see it's kind of moved out a lot. This is where I got it extended, and it's completely healed, and I use the Bioderma for this, and it has not bled in the slightest. It is absolutely amazing. And again, no skin reaction, no hives, no nothing, and my tattoo healed perfectly. So if you are getting a tattoo or just got a tattoo and you're looking for something to use, definitely get the Bioderma tattoo cream. It is affordable. It works great. I used it for all of this. I used it on my boyfriend with his new tattoo, and I still have like a ton left so that I don't even have to replenish it when I go for my next one. So it's gonna be fantastic. But yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching and checking me out 3 days in a row. I may not post tomorrow because I might spend the evening with my brother. I'm not sure what's going on yet. And I don't know if I'm going to post on the long weekend because it's a holiday here in Canada. We have Victoria Day, and it's like fireworks day and everything, and I'm going to be spending it with family, so I don't know if I'll have time to film. I will try because my BoxyCharm just came in, and I would like to film that unboxing. So I'll try and get that out over the weekend. If not, I'll be back on Tuesday, but hopefully, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and if you are in Canada, have a great long weekend. Be safe, because it is May 2/4. You know, if you're gonna drink, just don't drive. Be safe. But yeah, hope everyone has a great time, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.